I want to hear from United fans. I want to hear from Chelsea fans. Pick up the phone and give me a call. Just before we hear from the fantastic football fans out there. Good evening, Mr. Jason? Jermaine Pennant.
Good evening, Jordan.
Good
evening. Yeah, I'm great. I'm very good, thank you.
I've got to mention, those watching on YouTube will see, but I've got to mention, to start off with, you are sporting a beautiful shiner there. Do you want to just tell us what happened there and how that came about? Before we get into the football chat.
It's not anything dangerous. It was playing old football. I went up for an header, which is not my forte, and I shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got stuck in?
Got stuck in, but I don't know what I'm doing. You know, it's way out of my depth, and caught the back of his head. And ultimately, I thought I broke my nose at one stage. I was ready to go off and go hospital, but no, it was just a good. It gave me a good shiner.
It's a war wound indeed. Just before we get to the callers, and I'm really keen to hear from United fans. I posed a question there. You know, it's been a good season? Question mark. You know, top four, back in the Champions League, a cup in the bag, another cup final to come. How far do you think? And, you know, I thought they were wasteful tonight and still got 4 goals. That's probably a big reflection on how bad Chelsea are rather than how good United are. But how far away do you think they are from being in the mix again to really, you know, giving Man City, their City rivals, a bloody nose next season?
I don't think they'll be giving City a bloody nose next season. I think they will be in the top 4 shout next season. If they get a good striker and another good midfielder, they'll be in the top 4 without a shadow of a doubt, rather than just, you know, putting it to the second to last game to confirm that. But I think they're still a way away of challenging Man City for sure. I don't think anyone can really challenge them at the moment. But the season that they've had, you know, the noise that there was coming out of Man United, how they're doing so well and some of their performances. But at the end of the day, they've got a trophy, playing another trophy, and they've got Champions League football. They're not being pretty. They've just done well at home, you know, scraped some results, 1-0 here, and but the away form haven't been great at all. But ultimately, you got to look at how the season's finished and what they've won and where they are. And I think it's going to be a successful season. And I think Ten Hag would say that, because the squad is still not where it wants to be, but they've got their end goal.
And of course, as our friend and colleague there, Hugh Woozencroft mentioned, kept your mob, Liverpool, put that nail in the coffin of any top 4 aspirations. Your club.
European League is.
Thursday nights, here we come. Just briefly on Chelsea, they've been bad for a while. I was saying before the game, they have been getting a little bit of a pumping from rival fans and the media, but I don't think they've been getting enough of a pumping, really. I think where they are 12th in the league, I don't think the upheaval in the boardroom and the amount of players that have come in is enough of an excuse to you know, cover over their performances and results from this season. I think it's been really, really, really bad, beyond bad, and it felt to me like today they were going through the motions massively. What's your thoughts on the game?
The reason why they haven't been, you know, constant pumping and hammering and battering is because they was just constantly putting in performances well below par, not getting no wins at all, and it was just the norm. So that you're going into weekend after weekend expecting any team to turn up and beat Chelsea, and that was the case. And now it came to a point where it's just the next. It's just normal now. The normal team, the next below 10th team, you know, fighting for mid-table team. Yeah, that's how they come across, and that's how they was talked about. That's how they was looked at. You know, you won't go for 3 or 4 years, 5 years ago, the Drogba years, you wouldn't even think about those kind of numbers, those kind of score lines. But now teams are going up. It doesn't matter what team it is. You're thinking, well, yeah, they'll probably win this one. And they did get the result, and that's what it's been like. So we just thought, it's just the norm. So they've got away with it because they've been that bad.
Yeah, it's just become expected now. You're right. Chelsea fans, pick up the phone, give me a call. 03717 223344. Let's speak to a Chelsea fan. Let's speak to Mike, first of all. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. I'm sure I'm doing better than you. 4-1 defeat at Old Trafford tonight. I mean, Jermaine's just saying there, the reason why you've not been getting battered as much as I think you should have been getting battered is because it's just become expected now. Amongst Chelsea fan base, do you guys now just go into games expecting to lose games?
This season, it's been like that all season. It's embarrassing. And you said, should Lampard get another job in the Premier League? He's got a long way to go before he gets anywhere near another job. You know, he's playing players that are going to leave the club. If you're going to blood the youngsters, blood them, okay? Get them out there, get them used to the crowd, just get them on it. He's playing players like Ziyech. He nearly left. Pulisic is going to go. We've got players there that have got huge transfer fees that are just absolutely inept. And listen, I've been battered, and I know my mates are listening to this, and I have been battered non-stop all season. And I can't defend them anymore. I really can't. It's absolutely embarrassing. Okay, for the first 25 minutes tonight, they didn't look too bad. We've got some great youngsters there. But you're not going to win anything with youngsters. He's dropping players like Thiago Silva. We need those players at the moment for the experience.
Mauricio
I've just had enough. Will Pochettino do any better? I'm praying he will. There has to be a mass clear out. There's going to be 12, 15 players that are going to go. And I wouldn't mind betting that some of the players that were signed in January will go as well.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're not
Name names.
Mudryk, absolutely shocking signing. You can say, he's only had half a season. Look at that miss tonight. Look at that miss in front of goal. It's terrible. I bet the Arsenal are laughing. Because if we had a receipt,
we are a little bit.
You know, I'd take him back to Shakhtar. It's shocking, absolutely terrible.
Mike, what do you think you're going to need to progress next season, and also where do you think you're going to be in the table next season? How do you think you see your season panning out? Next
season, difficult to say. We need stability. We need to have a starting 11. You need to work with a squad of maximum 20 players. Okay, look, we've had our fair share of injuries. We have got good players. But come on, man. This is Chelsea Football Club. For the last 20 years, we've been there and thereabouts. I've been a Chelsea fan for nearly 50 years, okay? And it's like, you know what? I was there in the 80s, the late 80s, when there was only 4,000 at Stamford Bridge, sitting in the benches, having to win on a wet Wednesday at home to Walsall to stay in the old second division. So this is really nothing new to me, okay? But I've been spoilt over 20 years. You've got some fans that have only been fans for 15 and 20 years. They've never known any different. But do you know what? The players get paid a lot of money. I understand a little bit about football, and it's not about the money, because at the end of the day, they're human beings who are only doing a job. But it's embarrassing.
Listen, Mike, cheers for the call, Mike. Mike's not happy at all. Says it's embarrassing and disgrace. We're going to hear from both the managers shortly. So if I get you up and I have to abruptly cut you off, I'm not being rude. I will come back to you. So we will get to both Frank Lampard and Erik ten Hag shortly. Let me speak to a Man United fan now. Sorry, do you want to just come in there, Jermaine?
No. I'm enjoying it.
He's
Fire away, boys.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.